Hey guys, welcome to my space. Okay, so my much awaited video. Today I'm 34 and boy, I'm super elated, grateful to God, but also with kind of mixed feelings, right? I'm really getting old and then it scares me, to be honest. For me, I feel like there are a few things that I could share that can be of help to anyone, just generally speaking. Nothing too serious, just so let's just chill. I talk about them, maybe share one or two stories to back up my claim, and then that'll be all. Okay, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so these are my 10 life-changing lessons learned after 34 years. Okay, number one, life does not provide an equal playing opportunity or equal playing field, and that's fine, right? Over time, we see that life in itself comes with a bit of everything. While some are extremely influential and extremely rich, some are extremely poor, some are in between, some are average. And then as young people just born into this world, we get to ask ourselves, why am I born into this family? Right? Or why are these incidences applying to me at this time? Sometimes it's not really your doing or something that's maybe like a percussion of what you've done, but it just happens to be that way. And then we see oftentimes how easily such ideas, if not tackled early, can affect your life, right? Personally, I remember growing up with so much zeal and aspiration, but when I got into the university, I ended up spending about 7 years out instead of 5 years of my particular course. I was supposed to read civil engineering, and then we had issues back and forth, ASU strike that is still currently ongoing, and things like that. And I ended up spending extra 2 to 3 years afterwards. And trust me, for those times, I remember hating life, really. I remember not doing anything and just waking up and just strolling around the streets, not even going home for holidays and things like that. Not my own doing, but life threw that at me, as it's trained many things at us as young people. And we have to really accept it instead of fight it. I feel like when we accept it, we will begin to see the good side of it, or rather the opportunities that comes from it. And such opportunities can really be to our favor. But then if we are bitter and if we are angry and if we just hate life generally, we will definitely not seize those opportunities. So life does not provide an equal playing field, and that's fine. Be strategic, be focused, and receive what life throws at you with open arms. The second lesson for me is this: invest in your passions early, because they may hold the key to your success and breakthrough. Really. So how do I explain this? I feel like everything that we need as humans to excel, it's in us. I feel like God, in His wisdom and mercy, has deposited all of these things in us. But then our walk of life is to see these things, understand them, nurture them, and eventually become our success stories or our best selves, or live our best lives. And I feel like even as young people, as teenagers, as young teens and as full teens and youths, we see some of these passions. It comes naturally to us. For me, I've always been a creative person. I've always been the guy that will sing in the choir, that will act in drama, that will want to join the music club or dance. Yeah, like I just love expressing my creativity, right? But I didn't study in that line early enough. I ended up going to school to read something entirely different, and I'll say it affected me in no small way. But imagine if we can discover passions and hobbies early enough. Imagine if we can harness our passion and hobbies early enough. Either you are building a career path in that line, or you are studying multiple skills in that line. It means that we attract the possibilities of success quick enough. And I mean, I think the possibilities itself, it's endless, really, because a 5-year-old person, for example, who already loves to sing and already loves to drum and do this and do that, if he's well harnessed, can become the Michael Jackson of tomorrow, because it starts early. All right, so discover your passions early. And I'll say the third thing also relates to that. For me, to be harness your passions early by developing skills. Okay, so to discover your passions and then develop skills in line with that passion. And trust me, the possibilities is just mine. For me, I never really knew that there could be a tool like maybe CorelDRAW, Photoshop, or graphic design tools. I just was creative. I just could create things. I just loved singing. I just loved the arts. I just loved drawing. But I never really knew I could use CorelDRAW. I could learn CorelDRAW until maybe after my university years. But when I handled the tool, I learned easily, really easily. It was like a breeze for me. It came naturally to me, right? It was like I saw this, and then it was like a tool to express myself. Okay, so discover your passion, number 2, and then grow in it. Build yourself in it, learn skills relating to it. You can become a freelancer from that. You can monetize your craft and your arts from that. The list is endless. All right, so let's go to number 4. Number 4 is quite interesting, right? Number 4 is this: that worry does more harm than good. Okay, change what you can and let go of what you can't. As easy as that, really. There are many things that we might not be able to change as we grow. For me, I couldn't change the fact that ASU strikes. I wasted more than 1 year of my life, really. But then it was up to me to construct something meaningful out of it. Okay, I suppose just worrying and wallowing in the pity of whatever you're going through. Okay, so I mean, there are times when we can really change things. We learn new skills. We can meet people, solve our problems, learn to solve our problems. There are many things we can try. As long as it's within your power, do all you can to change a terrible situation. But when it's out of your control, understand that it's out of my control. I can pray, I can hope for the best and be optimistic towards the situation. But worrying just puts you in a place of anger, and so even the aura around you would not be good at all, and to be gloomy, to affect everything else. Just like when you're angry and then you transfer aggression on somebody else. It happens a lot. Okay, so change what you can and leave what you can't. Just let it go. Let it take care of itself. And funny enough, we see that it will eventually take care of itself. It will. might just be later, it might not just be immediately, but it will eventually take care of itself. And you will be better for it. Number 5 is deep for me as a young person, as a young man, and also, I mean, to everybody in general. Number 5 is that you curb unfruitful habits, because they have a tendency to ruin one's life. True. Difficult to admit, but really, really true. I picked up a few unfruitful habits. I've picked up a few unfruitful habits while growing up, and it didn't really do me much good. It stifled my growth. It took me to a dark place. And as young people that try to experiment and do many things and live, right? The tendency to pick up some traits that is unfruitful, but it begins to get difficult to put it away. Over time, it begins to get difficult. Trust God to see you through. Ultimately, His grace is enough and able to see us through. So trust God to see you through and make intentional efforts. Okay, number 6, be ready to seize opportunities, because it will come. It will come. It's one thing to want opportunities. It's one thing to do all you can to bring them in, but it's another thing to be ready when it comes. Because when it comes, if you're not ready, it's just going to pass you by. So prepare, study as much as you can, grow your skills and your craft. And living testimony to this. I've really struggled at one point in my life, but then the right opportunities came at the right time, and then it changed everything for me, and still happening. Number 7 life-changing lessons is this: network as though your life depended on it. I'm saying this, but I think I'm still learning to explore that aspect of my life. Networking, people see me as reserved, and he's always on himself. I'm actually like that too, but hey, it is said that your next level of growth is actually in somebody's hand, and God will come down himself, but then He can connect you to you can have a perfect timing, right? He can connect you to the right people at the right time if you're in the right place. But how? You have to be able to love people, generally speaking. You have to be able to respect people's opinion, generally speaking. You have to be able to give value without hoping to get anything in return. But social network, meet people, be friendly, be open-minded, explore, learn as much as you can, as though your life depended on it. So my number 8 lesson is this: put yourself out there, because you don't know who's watching. Or rather, put yourself out there because somebody might be watching. So when you feel strongly that you've got something to give, you've got value, you've inspired a few persons, and you feel that, and you have this gut feeling that there can be more, you just have to put yourself out there. And so the earlier you start, the better you can fine-tune your craft and your skill or your portfolio and make the correction and changes and grow along that line. The next one is number 9, and it's this: that's this is kind of tilting towards the negative angle, but hey, it's still a valuable lesson, right? Sometimes people know your worth, but they hope that you don't know your worth. For lack of a better use of word. So how do I explain that? Sometimes people know how good you are, but for some reasons they might not really want to give you your worth. And so I feel like at some point in a life of every individual, you have to be adamant as to what you want, because you can't afford to have people toss you around, even when you know fully well that you are doing your best, or you are literally bringing the best to the table at that time. So there are times when you might have to let things go, because in the long run it will not do you favor, it will not do you good. It can meet your basic need at that time, but it might not necessarily do you good in the long run, right? So there's times when you have to be strong about what you want and what your demands are, because you know your worth. And the last but not the least, number 10, is that if there is a God somewhere, you should know that for yourself. Right? I think this is the best, and I'm saving the best for last. If there's a God somewhere, you should know that for yourself. While growing up, for those of us that grew up in a Christian background, we grew up in going to church. We grew up just worshiping and things like that. For many that grew up in other religion, you probably grew up serving the religion, or doing the religion or rather practicing the religion that your parents are practicing, right? But when you've come of age, when you can think and reason for yourself, there is a need to ask yourself basic questions, especially as it relates to your existence and the existence of humans and God, and there's a need for you to explore that possibilities. And so for me, I think it was really interesting to grow in that path, knowing God, knowing what He wants from me as a person, as an individual, knowing what His command is now to us as humans. There's a need for you to ask certain questions. What happens when I die? Because He that has created us and has ultimately a manual for our lives. I think we've heard the story of just like you buy a TV set, and then there's a manual for that TV set, and the manufacturer has created a manual just so you can learn how to operate that TV set. Okay, and then there's a need for us to reconnect ourselves to the manufacturer in the person of God. But then how can we do that? By what means? Is it by our good works, or by our show of righteousness, or by our gifts we give out? By what means can we be reconnected to the manufacturer? Right? So these are questions I believe that every human should ask, because tomorrow might be too late, really. Of the truth. Of the truths, basically. But hey, that's me. Tobi Akinyele. I hopefully will continue this teaching, helping ordinary people build remarkable businesses and brands. I teach brand strategy, marketing, and that's for another time. But anyways, thanks for joining my space. Thanks for spending this much time to listen to me. Connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram at Brand Villa, and hey, send me a message, send me a DM if you have any question, or if you feel I've omitted something and then you want to remind me. Be sure to send me a DM. God bless you. God loves you. God wants the best for you. That is why He has sent His Son to be the best for you and give you life. And He wants you to have that life abundantly. So learn about that life, because He wants you to have it. It's a gift. It's a gift, and it's free. And He wants you to have it. Okay. God bless you. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Bye.